What's up, everyone? We're back in action, and this month is special. I just wanted to take a little time to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do something cool with wines and to try to help expose you guys to some really neat wines. I hope we've done that over the time you guys have been partners here. This month we've gone kind of all out. These are all incredible wines. There's none that aren't very highly rated, sought after, a little more expensive than we would normally do, but we just wanted to give thanks for you guys and for the opportunities that we've had. We're on the cusp of trying to book a couple wine excursions where we'll take everyone in a van and kind of cruise to some of the places and wineries that you can't really get to unless you know somebody, and of course we know people, so pretty fun. But yeah, let's dive into it. We're going to start out with J. La Salle, a beautiful champagne. This is called Cachet Or. It's a perfect blend of Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and Chardonnay, so the three main varietals of grapes grown in Champagne. J. La Salle is headed by a woman winemaker, which we always love here. I think it's cool to see more and more people getting into the industry that are female. I think it's super important, same as in the restaurant world. I don't really need to taste this, but we'll taste it anyways because why not? I mean, start out with some champagne. And this isn't sparkling wine either. It is champagne. So I'm pretty sure that the little Viria is from, Chigny Les Roses. So really beautiful little spot. I love this wine. On the nose, you get really good depth of character of the Chardonnay in particular. And then definitely Pinot Meunier with that really fruit forwardness that I kind of get from that grape variety. Incredible. You guys are going to love this. Anyone that loves champagne is going to find this champagne super appealing. Obviously, you can pair anything you want with it. Make some fried chicken, do oysters. Pretty much anything you want is going to go well with this wine. It's perfectly well-rounded, not too leesy, not too high in acid, but really just perfectly balanced in the middle there. Absolutely love this wine. We've had it on the first course paired with the caviar for some time now, so it's really nice to be able to share that with you guys. As you guys know, we're dealing with the Portuguese menu now, and for this last month of wines, we're trying to choose some great representations of Portuguese wines. I think that the still table wines are probably some of the best values in the world right now, and some of the wines that we had on the trip were just absolutely incredible. The two winemakers that we really hung out with a lot, Antonia Quinto de Javalli and also Nuno and Jayal, Mira Odo, they have both been mentored by Luis. And I sourced some of his wines specifically for you guys. I had Shisto Cru at a restaurant called Doc in the Douro and was just blown away by the quality of the wine. Definitely making a Burgundian style representation of native grapes from Portugal. This one is all native grapes, as I'm reading right now. It's Encruzado, which I think is like the king grape of white wines. Bical, which is another very interesting wine, and then finished off with the Cercil Branco. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. Maybe I'm saying it right. I'm not sure. But this is Pura Textura. This is super fun wine. Haven't really had a lot of exposure to this, so I'm kind of excited to taste it and smell it in front of you guys. So it's definitely, Cruzado to me is similar to Chardonnay. More depth, more character, more fun, but similar in body and weight. And I kind of get that on the nose here, almost like Chablis-like quality of Chardonnay. But then there's some other things kind of coming along. Bical is another one of those wine varietals that I think really is underserved in the industry, and hoping to bring more of that out. It has really kind of like green and floral qualities to it. Not floral in the traditional way either. For me, floral is a lot of different things. To me, this is more along the lines of like the real green floral characteristics, maybe even lightly bitter, dandelions and stuff like that. But I really love the smell of this wine. It's absolutely incredible. It's called Textura, and it has incredible texture. This is just such a good wine. You just can't get around it. Super versatile to me right away on tasting it. You could definitely go fish with this. You could go pork with this. You could go chicken with this. You could go a lot of areas with this. I think you could even tie a little spice into it if you wanted to. You could also go with heavy brined items. You could go olive, tapenade, capers, caponata, all of that kind of stuff. I think would also pair extremely well with it. You could definitely do salt cod. I think that would pair extremely well with this. Just an incredibly fun wine. Absolutely love this wine. I think that in the season right now that we're in, it'd probably be really good to venture out into something like braised chicken. You could either go a Thai style braised chicken and go green curry with like asparagus and that kind of stuff, or you could braise chicken with some tomato and olives and capers and that kind of stuff and go in that route. Either way is going to tie in an incredible way to this wine. I hope that you love this wine. Please reach out to us if you'd like some more, or if you want to know more about it and the winemakers and all the things that we learned while we were there in Portugal, because this is the kind of wine that I think will draw people into Portuguese wines. Next up, we're going to head out to our friends. This is from Montigny, which is an area in Burgundy. This is brought in by some of our favorite little wine guys, G. Monteau and Pierre Clos. This is Les Jardins, and it's a Premier Cru. 100% Chardonnay, of course. This is kind of one of those things for us that we've been sitting on this wine for a long time. We love this wine, and we didn't want to get rid of it. But like I said, this month I just felt like we wanted to kind of represent the very best of the best and kind of give you guys a lineup that is absolutely exciting and fun and something different. So we kind of know what Burgundy tastes like, but let's have a crack at this since it hasn't been tasted for quite some time. Like I said, it's been in our cellar for I think 4 years now, so it's had some time to come into its own. Definitely Chardonnay from Burgundy. Sounds funny because that's exactly what it is, but sometimes things are different, and then sometimes they're quintessential. And so this, to me, on the nose already is just smelling absolutely like a slightly more southern style of Burgundy, white Burgundy, and has the layers of green apple and those kind of things. Minimal oak usage on this. It's not super buttery and rich smelling, much more clean. So I'm really loving this, and it's 2015 by the way, so it's had some serious time to relax. So it's kind of funny that we had the textura right before it. I told you that it was a Burgundian style of wine making. And now we're into Burgundy, and this is just a absolutely quality production of Chardonnay. It's gorgeous. It's got this kind of mineral-driven quality to it that leans more into something like Chablis versus something like Puligny-Montrachet, or maybe even Meursault. Now that we're seeing a whole new level of Meursault where it's being more clean and less oak and a little bit brighter. This is a gorgeous wine. Highly suggest pairing this with some wild mushrooms and a cream pasta dish. I think that would just sing with this. You could do scallops. I love the sweetness of scallops with something like this. Maybe put those on top of your pasta. If you're not wanting to do the cream, which I think this is fine, you could definitely do, you could get into a pesto or something like that. I think it would be super good with a pasta, but you want something a little rich on this to really kind of just take this this body and this character and just wrap it up. It's a beautiful wine. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Incredible representation of what Burgundy is. Next up, we're going to go cider, because I don't think you guys have had a cider from him yet. And if you have, I'm sorry, but I'm going to give you more, because this is hands down one of my favorite cideries in America. Posterity Cider Works. They're out of McCallany Hill, Calaveras County. They use only very old orchards, sourcing really rare and fun, very old varietals of apples. Their ciders are always perfectly well balanced, never too sweet, just absolutely mind-blowing with its quality and its character. I just fell in love with these guys when I met them a while back. Haven't changed my mind since. He always has fun names. This one's one for the storyteller. So it's a bittersweet sparkling cider. If you're not familiar with ciders, or if you don't drink ciders because they're very sweet, I understand completely. Most often ciders are just way too sweet for me as well. But this one sings. It's just beautiful. All of his are beautiful. If you find them, pick them up. I promise you won't regret it. They are not cheap ciders, which I think is something that all of you appreciate, knowing that you're part of our club here and fans of Localis. It's always the quality above quantity for us, and this guy definitely falls in line with that. Absolutely love it. So fun and expressive on the nose. It almost has like a candy quality to it, but not in the sweetness, but in the smell and the character of the flavor profile of like hard candies. This has, something kind of like that. Like I said, it's never too sweet. It's always perfectly balanced, wonderful acidity. This is such a fun cider. It's a little lighter than other ciders that I've had from him as far as its body, its character. Still full of great apple flavor. When you truly taste apple in a cider, it's kind of fun because sometimes cider tastes more like apple juice, which is a sweetened version of apple. This to me tastes like true apples. Absolutely gorgeous, and you can tell that these apples are not varieties that are manipulated by GMOs or whatever else to be sweeter. These are more of those bitter style of apples that I think really, really make fantastic ciders. I love this. Highly suggest pork, mustard sauce, like kind of go in a German way with this, even though, as far as ciders are, Normandy and then, the Basque region of Spain are more typical for great ciders of Europe. But I'm telling you, like, that richness of pork and the mustard kind of qualities, you could even pair some apple with it. It's not apple season right now. You could probably use like underripe tree fruit or something like that, or underripe stone fruit, sorry, like peaches or nectarines or something like that that's not quite ripe yet, but still nice and firm. Cooking those down and making like a chutney or something like that for some beautiful pork chops or something would be an absolutely stunning pairing. I love this cider. I think it's absolutely mind-blowingly good. Please leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If we can link you up with Posterity Cider Works, I'm going to start trying to list out the makers of the wines so you can at least follow them and kind of like start diving in and learning a little bit more about it. But wow, what an incredible cider. Absolutely love it. So delicious, and hoping that you guys enjoyed as much as I do. We're going to finish strong with the reds because, like I said, I really wanted to impress you guys this time. I met these two gentlemen, João and Nuno, when we were in Portugal. Kind of fell in love with their winemaking, with them as people. They're just wonderful human beings. And Nuno, hearing him talk not only about his winemaking, but his music, the guitar playing, and getting to sit with him for hours and talk and be in that 100-year-old Baga vineyard with him was just something that I'll never forget. This is their project, Mira de O, and this is Dorita Tinto, a red kind of blend of different grapes. This is from the Dow, so kind of on the eastern side of Portugal. And you can tell just by the bottle, which he designs, by the way. I think they're just gorgeous and really represent beautiful winemaking, and then following through with the story and with the packaging and with everything. They really kind of exude this quality and this excellence that I think is absolutely mind-blowing and awesome. I just really love it. Great varietal breakdown. Jane, Afrochiero, and Touriga Nacional is 30%, so you got those other ones kind of coming in at a higher range. I didn't know this about Touriga Nacional, but it's a fairly new grape varietal for Portugal. Really started production in the 70s, I guess, to really kind of like bulk up wines. It's a large crop grape. So a lot of the winemakers in Portugal were just making, cheap plonk, which they would call in Europe, which is just wine to just get hammered on. And I think that a lot of these winemakers nowadays, in Neoport really coming out and trying to step up the table wines of Portugal, have really started kind of showing the world that they make incredible wines, and that there's not just cheap and accessible and get you drunk wine, but there are absolute beautiful wines that compare to anything that I've had. The Textura and the Burgundy, you're going to drink those side by side, hopefully, and see how much the quality is there with the Portuguese wine versus somewhere like Burgundy that's been synonymous with incredibly high-end wines and the best wines in the world for hundreds of years. And now I'm tasting this wine next to it from a Portuguese winemaker that's making wine as good as a lot of the things that I've had in Burgundy. So very excited to share the Drita Tinto with you. Jao and Nuno, if you ever get to watch this, thank you so much, and I hope that people love your wines as much as I do. We didn't put this one on the pairing because we had too many wines. I wrote too many courses. I paired too many wines, and I just could not have this shared with people, so we're going to share it with you. So on the nose, I feel like it's a cross between the much brighter style of Pinot Noir and then the red kind of fruitedness of Grenache. I feel like it's right in between there. Super pleasing on the nose, lots of red fruit going on. Definitely getting some of those like mushroom characteristics, forest floor, fun wine to smell. Sometimes when I talk to you guys on these videos, I hope that sometimes you just spend time smelling the wine. There's so much to it. You're not wrong when you're at home saying it by yourself or to your significant other, your partner, but it's fun to just play that game of what do you smell and not be afraid of saying anything, because there's no reason to be afraid of saying something that isn't or is in the wine, because to you, whatever is and whatever isn't in the wine is exactly what it is. Beautiful nose. Could literally smell that all day long. I mean, it's everything I expected. These are the kind of winemakers that I think that you should just trust. Whatever it is you see their wines, buy them. They're going to be good. They're going to be amazing. I think that it is just absolutely stunning. This is very much similar to a cross. And Touriga Nacional has been known as being a very big wine, but it's far enough back in the blend to really let the other grape varietals speak. I'm not familiar with the other two grape varietals. There are a lot of Portuguese native varietals that I just have no idea about, and I was learning a lot while I was there. But as I'm sure you understand, it's kind of tough to bring full circle all the information that you hear in such a short amount of time. This wine is perfectly suited for the medium-bodied stuff. This would go insanely well with duck. I think this would go well with grains, faro and spelt and all of those kind of things with that nutty characteristic. I think would find a really fun home in here. I also think that cherries are in season right now. You could do a traditional duck and cherry dish, which would be really delicious with this, with some faro underneath it. You could go confit with this. You could go duck breast with this. If you go duck breast, cure it. 50-50 salt and sugar, and then some herbs, maybe lavender or something like that, and let it sit for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then rinse it off, pat it dry, let it sit overnight in your refrigerator without any cover to form a little pellicle on the skin. That skin will get really crispy and beautiful. Start yourself in a cold pan, very low heat, until it just slowly starts coming up and starts sizzling that fat a little bit. You want to render it down. At the very end, you can finish off the cooking process. But I feel like that's a great pairing with this. Some duck, some braised cherries. I would even throw a little bit of this wine in the pot with your cherries, cook them down a little bit in it, and you're going to have a dish and a pairing that just blows your mind. I hope that this Portuguese wine blows you away as much as it does me, because it's just a stunning wine, something I'm very excited to show you guys, and I hope that we can get some feedback on what you guys think. Keep in mind that we have that bottle shop every Saturday from noon to 3, and we are most definitely having some Portuguese wines on there, so very excited to have that as well. Wow, what a good wine. I just kind of want to keep drinking this one, but we're going to finish you off with something very special. This is a selection from Chave, Jean-Louis Chave, 16th generation winemaker in the Northern Rhone Valley. So well known for his versions of Hermitage, the Great Hill, and also Saint Joseph. He is just an iconic winemaker. His family is iconic. They started in 1481. So he started his sub projects, because we really can't even get Chave here, like the actual Chave. But he started Chave Selections and started producing wine that was a little bit more approachable, because to get those wines is, like I said, next to impossible. This is called Ophrys. It's a Saint Joseph, which means that you don't even have to think about it. It is Syrah. That's what it's going to be, and made by some of the most skilled hands of Syrah makers in the entire world in Jean-Louis Chauve. I got some of this wine, and I felt like it was necessary to share it with you guys. It's hard to get, and something that's very special to us, so we're very excited to share it with you. I have not tasted Ophrys yet. I have had some Chauve, which has been some of the greater representations of Syrah that I've ever had in my life. So I'm excited to smell. I mean, it's Rhone. It's beautiful. This is second only to Pinot Noir from Burgundy for me. And a lot of people will say that, Burgundy reds are, it's too easy to like and whatever else. But I'm telling you, there's just certain wines that you have had in your life, I'm sure, that you'll always remember. And sometimes they're from different areas. But for me, Burgundy is king. And second only to Burgundy is Northern Rhone Syrahs. They are incredible. They are impactful on the palate. They're deep and flavored and have incredible nuances. And with a maker like him on the nose already, I'm getting not a ton of like that brininess, the olive characteristics that come from Syrah Northern Rhone. It's a little bit more fruit forward. I'm guessing this sourcing probably comes from the valley floor of Saint Joseph and not on the hills. There was a lot of turmoil in Saint Joseph when they made the area a lot bigger, so a lot more people could call it Saint Joseph. And some of the great producers were going, hey, we make Saint Joseph and it's not the same as what you're offering. We're up on the hill, we have better exposure, better irrigation, and nonetheless, there's a lot of winemakers that are really pushing to make Saint Joseph something excitable for wine lovers everywhere. So this has those. You definitely get the slight blue characteristic that I always traditionally get with Syrah. So if you're looking for ways to kind of blind taste, definitely suggest the Guildsomm's introductory courses. I think those are incredible. It's just something that you want to drink. I love Syrah. I hope you love Syrah too. On the palate, it's more traditional than on the nose to me. This has like that roasted meat kind of quality to it that I just love from Syrah. I'm getting those olive characteristics now on the palate for sure. Definitely teetering in between like the blue and the purple and red fruit. It's a gorgeous representation of Syrah. It's not too big. It's not super tannic. I feel like the alcohol is really well hidden. And in fact, 14% is great for Syrah. Syrah's big enough to hide. You do not get the hot sense like, wow, this has a lot of alcohol. Really well integrated, extremely well made Syrah from the Northern Rhone from an incredible producer. Get yourself some lamb with this, and maybe do some couscous or go to Middle Eastern vibe. I think would be well suited for this. I definitely think that this could take a little bit of spice. It's got grapefruit characteristics, which always kind of lean me into spice characteristics because it doesn't have huge tannins. It's not high in acid, so it's going to balance out well with some spice and character like that. We'd love to hear your feedback on the lineups and see you guys soon. Can't wait to have you in for dinner. Remember all the perks that you guys get, 25% off of your wine pairings when you come in. We're doing the quarterly free tastings. This last one was a super success. We were very excited about it. Can't wait to do more. And then we've got the bottle shop. That's open to the public, but if you guys come in and you want to talk a little something extra, let us know. We'd love to have you guys, and we can't wait to see you. Thank you so much, and have a great day.